Chris, one of the former investigators in Mike's family, they certainly believe that. And there are a lot of people in Tallahassee who think that Mike's ex-wife and her new husband, who used to be Mike's best friend, know a lot more than they're saying. So I went to pay them a visit.
The Gators didn't do it. So was Mike Williams, a successful real estate executive, loving husband, and father, murdered for his money?
A question came up when his spouse started to inquire about obtaining the insurance monies during the search.
Mike's mother and brother say his widow, Denise, has been living on Easy Street since she collected at least $1.5 million in death benefits.
When we were talking about who stood to benefit from Mike Williams being declared dead, it looks like it would have been his wife.
Right. There were two insurance policies, one that was written about 6 months before he went missing by his best friend, Brian Winchester. That was for $1.5 million.
What would be the words to describe this?
I think it definitely raises eyebrows as to maybe what was going on surrounding Mike's disappearance.
Adding to the suspicion, Denise marries the man who wrote those insurance policies, Mike's best friend, Brian Winchester. Then she reportedly cuts the family cord with Mike's mom and big brother Nick.
It makes it seem so calculated.
It does.
Would you ever call Denise Williams the grieving widow?
How it's been characterized to me is she was not that way, that she moved on pretty swiftly and was ready to just put Mike behind her.
Initially, investigators looked at the case as a tragic boating accident. Mike possibly drowned and his corpse was eaten by alligators. But there are a bunch of clues from the scene that don't add up. 1, his boat was found with a full tank of gas like it had never been used that day. 2, the shotgun. Mike's brother says it was not the one Mike used to hunt ducks. 3, his gear. Mike's jacket, waders, even his hunting license were not found until 6 months after Mike disappeared. And despite all that time in the water, they were all in pristine condition, not a single tooth mark from an alligator. And number 4 is the biggest mystery. There was not a shred of Mike.
And piecing together what appears to be a pretty sinister, strange story, and there's no physical evidence. So at every turn, it's really tough. No arrests are made, no suspects are named, because all you can get is this story that seems suspicious, but it doesn't kind of cross that line into where you can actually take any action with it.
Investigators launched an insurance probe, but couldn't prove anything underhanded.
What they were trying to do was prove insurance fraud, and that would involve that he was killed to get the money.
But Nick believes there may be a reason why his brother's best friend married his former sister-in-law. And he says it wasn't just for love.
They were actually married, and so no, I wasn't really shocked just because if they were involved in killing Mike, collecting all this insurance, they'd want to get married and not have to testify against each other one day.
Despite Mike's brother's allegations, Brian Winchester has never been charged or named as a suspect in Mike Williams' mysterious disappearance. I wanted to get his side of the story, so I went to Brian's insurance office.
Brian Winchester, it's Anna Garcia from Crime Watch Daily. Brian? Guess he's not here.
Shortly after my visit, we find out there is big trouble in his marriage with Denise. Winchester is arrested for allegedly kidnapping Denise and holding her at gunpoint in her car. He was reportedly distraught over their impending divorce. He allegedly tells her he's going to kill himself.
All right.
This is Denise at her estranged husband's arraignment,
Then I would like to read something.
recounting to the court her day of terror.
He was waiting for me in the back of my car with a gun. He grabbed the steering wheel. He shoved the gun in my rib cage, screaming profanities uncontrollably at me. I will never be the same. I would never wish this on anyone. I can't sleep. I can't eat because I only see him rising up out of the back of the car. Because all I feel is the gun shoved in my ribs. I can't have peace because I only hear his voice screaming and cussing at me. Please don't let him out.
Denise also reads a plea from her now teenage daughter she had with Mike Williams, begging the judge to keep her stepfather behind bars.
This is from my teenage daughter. I am scared. My mom is scared. He had a gun. He could have killed her. She is all I have. Please don't let him out. He will come for her, and then I will have no one.
I am going to find probable cause as to the 3 arrest charges of kidnapping, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and armed burglary.
Brian Winchester has pleaded not guilty to these charges, but Mike's family is wondering if this could be the break homicide detectives have been waiting for. Mike's brother is hoping one of them will now break their silence.
I think it's just going to take a confession from one of them to crack the case.
The chances of this ever being solved are so slim unless whoever was involved in this ends up confessing.
If Brian and Denise were standing right here with me, I would tell them, I don't know why they're not cooperating with the law enforcement people. And I don't know why they're not offering some type of reward. If you've got that kind of life insurance money, certainly you could participate in the solving of this case. And if it was my wife who was missing and I had the resources, I would not stop until we got a solution to it. And that's strange to me.
Denise has never been charged in Mike's disappearance. Mike's mother would love to be able to ask her former daughter-in-law what she knows, but Denise is not talking to her or anybody in Mike's family.
You think someone killed him?
I think it's very possible somebody killed him. I only have 2 choices where Mike's concerned. He can be dead, or I can hold out hope that he's alive somewhere. And right now, until somebody can bring me absolute, definite proof that Michael is dead, I'm going to believe that he's going to come home.
And until that day, Cheryl vows to fight for justice for Mike. As for Brian Winchester, he remains in jail. The state's attorney says inside his car the day he reportedly kidnapped his wife was a sheet, a plastic tarp, and a bottle of bleach. Winchester has pleaded not guilty.